hot and then you're cold.
Yeah, and then the thermostat sucks.
Why do you think it's not regulating?
To do with this sickness.
So what is that? Homeostasis?
I have no idea. I can't answer all the questions. I don't know everything. I just know that I don't regulate well anymore. Your body, people think that cancer is just, are we on?
Yeah.
People think that cancer is just a tumor. Not true.
What does that mean? Not true.
It's not just a tumor. It fucks up your body in all kinds of ways. Makes you very weak and fatigued. It depends where the cancer is in your body, and there's a reason why it kills you. If it was just a tumor, they could just cut them out and you'd be fine. And and the medications they give you also destroy your body. And
What's up, Ronnie? And thank you, SL Pat. How are you doing today on a Sunday evening? Pieces that a little bit better? I sound like I'm far away? I promise you I'm not. What's up, somebody? We're here with Angel right now. Piece 5247 says she worries me.
Yeah, anybody should be worried about me, but people don't care and they don't understand. I tell people, they say, do this. I'm like, I can't do that. You have to do it anyway.
Amelia said that's what cigarettes and diabetes get to.
I don't understand.
She said this is the outcome of cigarettes and diabetes.
Oh, I'm sure she's right.
You said I'm sure she's right?
Yeah.
Did you used to smoke cigarettes?
I quit. When did I quit? I quit 28 years ago.
Endoskeleton official said, may I ask your condition?
Can you tell him, please? I've said it 100 times, and it's hard for me to talk. And you know what it is, right? You don't remember?
Molastic. I know
it's stage 4 metastatic breast cancer.
See, metastatic is the word that I get hung up on.
Yeah.
I know it's stage 4 breast and then converted into lung cancer.
No.
From
metastasizing. No. These cancers don't convert. If you get metastatic, let's say you have whatever, any type of cancer, in my case, breast cancer. When it metastasizes, that means it started in the breast and now it's moved to other parts of the body. If it ends up in your lungs, it does not become lung cancer. The cellular makeup is different. People with lung cancer are even worse off because their prognosis is even worse. And it's not the same cancer, and they treat it differently with different medicine.
Do you even know your prognosis?
I don't want to talk about that because I don't discuss it with my doctor. I just tell my doctor, we're going to fight and fight and fight.
So you don't even get that info?
No, because when you get a metastatic diagnosis, you can check Google, your prognosis is 3 to 5 years. But I talked in the first video we did about Margaret Geisler. She lived 36 years. There are women on YouTube. They call them outliers. They've survived 20 plus years. So, I think if you tell somebody you have 12 months to live, it's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I don't want that.
So Pap said, does she know if it spread it to her lung?
Yes, I know that. That's why I can't. That's why I have so much trouble. But it doesn't, there's still a chance for me. But I'm not going to make it if I don't get some help.
What's hindering you getting help right now?
What? Oh, a lot of things. The medical community doing things in stupid ways, and money, because I can't pay the caregivers to come help me, and I can't do things by myself like cook, so that I can eat anti-cancer food diet. I've been eating those noodle cups because it's something I can make by myself when I'm alone. Very unhealthy for you if you have cancer. Very unhealthy for anyone, but especially unhealthy if you're fighting cancer. I'm going to show you how I make something I can make. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Small cup. Oh, wait, actually, you know what? I had a cup I used earlier. I'll use that. I have a reacher. I keep
So you can't get up and go to the kitchen and get yourself food?
Hell no.
Why?
Because I don't have, as soon as I stand up and try to walk, I deoxygenate my blood. And this is new. I've been getting worse. I used to make it to the kitchen, and now I can't. There's a refrigerator here. Standing up to open those doors to get something out, same thing. Oxygen level drops, and then it's hard to breathe. Heart rate goes up. And so my friend, she did this. But when I open the refrigerator, trying to get something out with this, they're too heavy. They end up on the floor. I have to fight to get it. It's very strenuous and painful. And I don't get to eat unless somebody comes and cooks me things that are healthy. The food that I can access is not healthy. So this is hard to do because these bottles are heavy. And I drop things a lot. Um, Doing things makes me winded. Um, uh, and there's no room to open the microwave, so I have to move all my things.
Just for you to cook a meal, how much energy does that?
I don't cook meals. I'm going to show you what I cook. Not ready. Oh. Okay. Mm. Oh. 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 Oh.
Bunny's, her condition is stage 4 cancer.
When you go to a facility like a hospital or a rehab or nursing home, something like that, the crap food they give you, it's garbage. Aside from that, it tastes terrible. It's very unhealthy. It's not good for you. You're supposed to eat fresh food, not crap, and not carbohydrates and sugar and all that. They don't care about that. Even oncologists. If you look on YouTube, you'll see there are some that are learning. They're figuring it out. I was just I found it very difficult because it's not easy doing but I ran out of, I was doing Mediterranean diet, but I don't have anybody to cook for me. I can't, so anyway, I pour some water in a cup. Ah, ah, put it in the microwave. That stretch hurts my ribs. Boil the water. And then I'll put some of this in it. This is better than bouillon.
Better than what?
Bouillon.
What is bouillon?
I can't give you a cooking lesson. I don't have the energy for that. Look it up. It's soup base. It makes broth. No noodles. If I had some fresh spinach, I could put that in it. I'm going to experiment with an egg. If I can swirl the egg in it and get like an egg drop soup type thing. So add some protein. Right now.
You said you need hospice.
No, I don't. Hospice, I have to give up treatment. And by the way, they don't take care of you. I spoke to a hospice center, and they
Guys, you hear those gunshots? That's Texas.
Yeah, which is fine, but not at 2:00 in the morning. Thanks.
I don't know if you guys heard that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Tez said he loves his life even more now.
Who?
Someone in the comments.
Why? You didn't explain anything. What do you mean?
I'm assuming observing you in your current condition.
Oh.
Just appreciates his current condition.
So I tell people all the time when I want to wish a blessing on someone, I don't wish them money. I just wish them good health. If you have good health, you can do anything in life. And I have so many people who they make money, they go home, they pay their bills, and then they bitch because they don't have any money left. And I'm like, and this was me before I got sick. And I would say, when I pay all my bills, there's nothing left. I'm so ecstatically happy and grateful because my mortgage is paid, or my rent, or whatever I have. My utility bills are paid. My phone bill is paid. I have enough money that I have groceries. There are homeless people who don't have any of that. So don't be grumpy and depressed because you don't have enough money to go to the movies or buy some crap you don't need. Be grateful that you do have enough money to pay for the things you need to live. But health, being in pain and struggling to breathe, that's one way to steal your zest for life.
What is that? Peanut butter?
I just told you. They remember, ask them.
I'm reading like a bunch of comments.
What are they saying? She's a bitch. Tell her to
Praise
stop.
God, you're blessed.
Uh,
You can get medical marijuana.
I have medical marijuana tincture. It hasn't worked for me, but I probably haven't done enough of it.
It's to U.S. Services sent $2.05. Not gonna lie, you remind me of my dead grandma. I miss her so much. You look exactly like her. I wish I could see her once more. I loved her.
I miss my grandma too. Tell them I said thank you. And but can you check and see if they're kind enough to give to me? Can you check where they're giving? Because if it doesn't go to the GoFundMe, I don't get it. The GoFundMe is how I can get anything.
That's the only thing your bank account is set up to. That GoFundMe.
If they need something else, you have to tell me what it is. But the GoFundMe is a way that I can get everything and it goes right to my bank account and it doesn't go through YouTube.
Yeah, guys, I pinned her GoFundMe from one of our moderators' comments. That's all Pat. You guys feel like you have any funds or any extra resources, uh, your current circumstance is in the chat keeps talking about obviously, Angel, your legs, and they keep telling you to raise your legs, but
No.
so I understand that. So just explain that.
I was able to raise my legs. I was taking care of my lymphedema the best I could. And
Lymphedema?
Yeah. I went to the hospital for lung problems and they treated me like crap. They did not help me. I was there for 2 months. While I was there, I asked for help with my legs. I can't be in a bed because I can't lie down. So that's why I'm in this chair. They would not give me a chair that wasn't a torture chamber. And they wouldn't help me raise my legs. So my legs got worse and worse and worse. They did other things that actually made my problem worse. And then when I finally got out, I went to a rehab and they did help me a little bit. They were a much better rehab than the hospital was. And then they helped me get stronger. And I came home and I hired a home health. Can I have that, please? I hired a home health company because they swore up and down they did lymphedema care. But when the nurses started coming to do wound care, because I have wounds, they said, no, we don't do that. I keep asking for different forms of support for my legs. They keep promising me yes, yes, yes. And it's been months and no help. And look, I don't want to trash talk the medical community because, they do help you. Obviously, if you need a heart transplant, you need a surgeon. And I've had some great doctors. I actually do have some great doctors. But sometimes you call a doctor's office, like a pulmonologist, and, or even your oncologist, and you need to talk to them. One, the pulmonologist will say, we can see you in 5 months. When you're metastatic, you have urgency. You cannot wait 5 months. With this one office, I couldn't get in. They wanted to make me wait, and it was a big problem. Got a different one. His office, they try to squeeze me in the next week. So they try to help me, right? My oncologist, he's great. I'm not saying anything negative about him, but the system in general, so they're overloaded. My doctor sees probably 1,500 patients a month. Think about that for a minute. Divide that by the day and how many pay. So your appointment, you get to see him maybe every 3 months for 15 minutes. Now, if you only have a year to live, 3 years to live, whatever, you need better care than that. You need more attention, more conversations, more help to figure things out. And no, this didn't work. What are we doing next? Everything should happen fast, right? And they want their things. Everybody wants their stuff done fast. When I went on long-term disability, then they start telling me I got to file for Social Security. They gave me a 2-week deadline. And I'm like, I have surgery, procedures, doctor's appointments. I got a lot going on. And that application, I can't just squeeze it in on a day I had a freaking surgery or I had a procedure. And those things have to come first, because if I'm dead, I won't need Social Security. And you have to calm down, grow some patience, and work with me. Because, look, when you call these places, you know what they call it? They call it a claim. Because when you file for disability, whether it's private, company, SS, Social Security, they assume that everybody's full of crap. There are so many, and I've seen it in the comments when people have conversations about other people with disabilities, and they can be like, if that person's not in a wheelchair, I don't see any disability. You know what somebody else's disability is, none of your business. They have doctor's records to prove whatever their problem is. And some people are genuinely disabled by mental issues. And people don't understand, and so many are discompassionate and unempathetic. Let me turn this off.
What is that?
My phone.
Oh.
It's Bill.
What's he saying? I'm
know.
curious. Have on.
Hey, Bill.
Put him on speaker.
No.
Oh. She said no.
Caleb is here. We're in the middle of live streaming, but I didn't want to miss your call. Can we talk later, or do you need anything from me? Email it to me. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Guys, that's Bill. You guys didn't know that's Bill.
Oh, my bad. Don't talk about Bill. I'm sorry.
And the LROG, they know who Bill is.
They're not supposed to. No, he prefers to remain anonymous. And I'm sorry I said his name. I just should have said it's important.
He's definitely not anonymous no more.
Well, he should be. Let's not. Doesn't matter. We don't have to keep talking about it. It upsets him, and he has good reason for that, and I understand. So I apologize. But I will say that I have some people in my life, like Caleb, who they help me in whatever way they can, and sometimes they do things like bring me medical equipment that I don't have, that I can't afford, that the insurance didn't send me, like a wheelchair, food, and so
anybody with cancer is getting the attention they need?
I think that when your cancer, depends on your oncology team. My first oncologist, he was great. He was brilliant.
How many times a month did you see him?
I don't remember. However, I think it was like once a week because I had chemo and stuff. But I saw him a lot. He was kind, compassionate. He was such a lovely man.
Let's go, Maddie. I hope you can feel better. Maddie Red.
Thank you. Anyway, I made broth. Bouillon, water, broth. Keeps me warm when I'm cold.
So that's broth.
Nothing in it. Just flavored water. But flavored with either, chicken, beef, vegetables, something that's not artificial. And some sodium.
Right. What do you think is most important for you right now?
Diet, which is expensive. Caregivers, most important thing, caregivers, because they get me to my doctor's appointments. I can't go otherwise. They get me to my chemo. They help me eat. They make sure when I'm throwing garbage in my garbage can, it overflows every day because I'm blowing my nose, I'm doing things. Change my garbage. Okay, I didn't want to talk about this, but a month ago, I could use my walker to get to the bathroom. It's 25 feet away from where I'm sitting. I can't do that anymore. So I have a porta potty. When you're doing your business in the same room that you're in, sleeping, living, and there's no one there to clean it for you, it's horrible. So the caregivers, they empty it and give me a fresh one. These towels under my feet are to catch the lymph that seeps out of my legs.
That's what that is, lymph?
Yes.
What is lymph?
When it's a bodily fluid. It's why you have lymphedema. It gets trapped in your, it doesn't move in your body the way it's supposed to. Anyway, when you have this swelling, it starts seeping out, forms big, huge blisters. And when it starts pouring out, it pours so much nonstop. When I get a new towel, within 2 hours, it's drenched.
Every day?
Yes. So I have to put a new towel so I'm not standing on a soaking wet towel that's full of lymph. And if no caregiver's here, there's no one to wash those towels for me and give me fresh ones. There's no one to be here when food comes to put it away for me, rinse the produce that needs to be rinsed, cut things for me. I can't do these things. And the caregivers, they help me. They help me brush my teeth. So I, you know, excuse me.
How do you treat lymphedema?
A lot of different ways. But they don't all work for different people, and some of them I can't get right now. I can't get those treatments. So before they start seeping, you catch it. You gotta catch it first. You use compression devices. Socks are not enough. And they keep ordering the devices. And I keep saying, I need that. And so finally, they don't talk to you properly. Somebody said to me, well, did you talk to an agent? I'm like, agent? What are you talking about? The different doctor's office, home health, all these people said, we're ordering that for you. Nobody said I had to call an agent or talk to an agent from the medical supply company that makes that stuff. Can they hear me?
Absolutely.
So finally somebody, when they mentioned that, and I got pissed because the way the nurse said it to me was like, it's my responsibility. One, it's not. Two, how do I know what my responsibility is if you don't tell me? And she was annoyed at me. And so I called the company and I said, hey, you've had several orders for this. I think they call it a Unaboo for the lymphedema. And this is what this crazy company told me. They said, your agent is so-and-so. You have to call them. And I said, no. They said, we've been reaching out to them for a few months now, and they haven't responded. Give them a call. Now, you tell me how ridiculous that sounds. I said to this company, I said, listen, get me another agent. You've had these orders for a couple of months now, and the agent has not reached out to me. And you're telling me that you're reaching out to them. They work for you, and they're not responding to you. I want a different agent. Why are you telling me to call somebody that doesn't respond to their employer? Why does that person even still work for you? No, you have to call the agent. Again, you all can see the condition that I'm in. I can be speaking to a doctor, a nurse, someone in the medical field and say, talking is very hard for me. It causes me to cough and have trouble breathing. And I need you to advocate for me, make this happen. Because I had a lymphedema device for my arm after I had surgery. And everything was taken care of for me. The agent came, helped me, because I had somebody different who were helping me at the time. It's ridiculous the things they ask you to do instead of helping you.
Nancy Wilson said, I'm with Caleb. I'm willing to drop everything and come take care of her dogs and cats.
Dogs and cats already have. I have 2 dogs. My friend is taking care of them at her house. And my cat lives here with me. The cat is fed. Her litter's taken care of because people come do that for me. And you don't have to do the litter every day. It's in another room. And the cat's very good. She's not fussy. And I make sure there's always enough kibble for her. And I keep cat food there. So if there's no one here, I can grab my reacher, get a can of cat food. It's small, fancy feast. Put it in a little paper bowl, put it on the floor and make sure she's fed. What she doesn't get is a lot of loving. She doesn't get a lot of getting loved on because she jumps up here and my chair is very small and she wants to crawl on me.
SL perhaps asking, so does she have a caretaker?
I have 2 friends who both work full-time. So my one friend, she's been giving up her days off to come help me, but I've been scheduling medical procedures on her days off so she can drive me to the hospital. This coming week, Monday, Tuesday, I have a telemed appointments on both days. Wednesday, I have to go to the hospital for a thoracentesis, which means they're going to stick a needle in the pleural lining around my lung and pull fluid out. I've had maybe 16 of these procedures, and it's part of the cancer. And she'll take me, and then Thursday, she'll stay with me because she can do that this week. She can't do it all the time because she works, but she can have that day off, so she'll stay with me. And then Friday, we're going back to the hospital to do the other lung. But Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, those 4 days, I'm always alone.
What does the hospital mean to you?
I don't want to talk about that. It means death. I go to the hospital, I probably won't come out. So, yeah, I don't want to go unless I have to. And when you have a slightest little problem, all the doctors are like, go to the emergency room. Excuse me for sounding snide, but the emergency room doesn't help you if you're not emergent. If whatever you go for isn't going to kill you, bleed to death, or whatever, they don't help you. They refer you. I went once because I wanted to make sure I wasn't having a heart problem. They said, well, we don't think it's your heart, but we can't be sure. So they discharged me and gave me a referral to a cardiologist.
Interesting man wants you to know that Jesus loves you.
Thank you.
Hey, Heaven said, there's life in the hospital. You want to be hypochondriac at home and use your illness. What's hindering you from going to the hospital is a better question. And you can be honest, brutally honest with us.
Okay. It's just hard to talk about. So when I went to the emergency room back in October, I went because I was having trouble breathing. And that was when we determined I needed oxygen, right? The EMS, when they came, they saw how I was struggling. She said, I think you need oxygen. Gave me some oxygen, and it started to help right away. So they took me to the hospital, which is very difficult because I can't be in their gurney with my legs up because it crushes my lungs and I can't breathe. So I had to be able to be sitting, which is very hard to get them to let you do. And so when I got to the emergency room, so many bad things started happening immediately. I won't talk about the more, I don't know, lesser things that were just shitty ways to treat a person who's very sick. But the medical ways, so I got a headache while I was there. And I said, can I please have some Tylenol? I have a headache on top of all this. They said, no, you can't have Tylenol. Here, have some morphine. I didn't want morphine because I had a headache. And I wasn't in this much pain back then. I didn't need morphine. I needed Tylenol. I had to fight with them for 8 hours to get Tylenol to get out of a headache. Then all kinds of problems happened. I already explained, I don't know if she heard it, but they wouldn't help me with my legs, so they can continue to get worse and worse and worse. They would do things like screw up my oxygen level. If I transported to get a CT scan and came back, somebody would go to connect me back to the room oxygen and walk away. And I'd be like, excuse me, my oxygen's not working. And the person would come back over, look at it and say, oh yeah, it's connected. And I'd be like, no, it's not working. Please check it. No, it's connected. First of all, you're making me argue. I don't have strength for that. Just check it. It's your job. It's not that complicated. Anyway, finally he checks it and says, oh, I see. Fixes it. Now I have oxygen. Excuse me, folks, if I sound a little persnickety. Caleb and I have done this several times. And it's each time I've been getting sicker and sicker. And so and after we get to a certain point, I start coughing uncontrollably, and it does get harder to breathe the more I talk. But you all don't know, those of you who are asking questions, because you obviously didn't see the other videos. But so I say to the young man, I say, listen, come here. I don't need to be training hospital staff how to do their job because I've been fighting cancer longer than they've been doing their job. And I say to him, I said, look, when you're transferring a person from a tank to room oxygen, don't walk away. You check with the patient and you say, can you feel that? Are you getting oxygen? Because what the patient tells you is more important than whatever thing you see. I would have a tech come in the room when you push the button and you say, you're pushing the button because you need a nurse or you need help with whatever you need help with. A tech would come. Usually they say, hi, how can I help you? Don't do that. Because when I'm speaking to your speaker that's in the wall, you can't hear me and you say, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. And you want me to repeat myself 3 times, which I don't have the strength to do. If you can't hear me, 1, come. 2, fix that wall microphone. I installed, Blink video camera, right, in my home so I could monitor my cat when I wasn't here. And that was $20. When I turn that on, I can hear her meow. I can hear the fan in my room. So don't tell me you can't afford to upgrade your microphone. You're a hospital and they're cheap. It's not expensive to do it. Anyway, so then the tech would come and I could be, or maybe I can't speak because I can't breathe. And so I'm coughing my lungs out and I couldn't breathe. And I said to the tech, please get the nurse. I can't breathe. This tech looks up at the pulse oximeter. They have big electric ones, and that show your oxygen level in your blood. And the tech looks at it and says, oh, well, you're at 97. I said, I don't care. I can't breathe. Get the nurse. Oh, no, but you're at 97. Again, you're arguing with me when I'm telling you what I need. And a lot of the medical professionals there that were not in pulmonology, which is lung doctors, they just go by this number, And that's like saying, well, your heart is beating, you're alive. That doesn't mean you don't have cancer or that you're having a heart attack or that all your bones could be broken. Your heart's still going to beat. So I went to the pulmonologist when she came to see me and I told her about this. I said, I can't get them to understand that just because if you have a collapsed lung, one lung collapsed, your other lung can still oxygenate your blood and you might see 90 whatever. It doesn't mean your lungs are okay. It just means that your blood is being oxygenated. And again, and then I'd have nurses come and they're going to pump me full of whatever medicine, morphine, which I needed later, or whatever. And when you have an IV, this is from an IV, you have to flush it before you pump medicine to make sure the IV is still in the vein and still good. And they would come and just get ready to pump the medicine. And I'd say, wait a minute, flush that. And they'd say, oh, you want me to flush it? Now you can go and ask anybody you know who's a nurse that knows what the hell they're doing. And they'll tell you that I didn't make this stuff up. Anything that I know about medicine, I'm not a medical professional, but I learned it from a nurse, from a doctor, from somebody who taught it to me over the 15 years I've been fighting cancer. So, and I would call the charge nurse and say, look, this nurse isn't flushing my IV, and then and the charge nurse would be like, really? Oh, no, you have to flush the IV. So, let's see, what other problems did I have? They would bring me the wrong medication. I don't make mistakes like that. So somebody there called me a hypochondriac, and I've never been rude to a commenter ever before. But excuse me, dear, I have stage 4 metastatic cancer. Okay? It's destroying my body. It has nothing to do with hypochondriacism. I didn't make it up. It's not fake. And I'm sorry, but I really didn't appreciate that. Also, there are certain things you can get at home that you cannot get in a hospital, like food that's healthy, edible, and in my case, this chair is very uncomfortable. It hurts my body. However, the hospital chairs are 100 times worse. They're made of rocks, and when I sit in them, I have metastasis in my left hip, my right hip, my vertebra, and I sit there in these chairs and I can't breathe, I can't get comfortable, so I can't sleep, nothing, right? And I tell the hospital, please, they bill $50,000 a night for you to be there. The insurance company says, we're not going to pay that. We'll pay whatever they're contracted to pay. But I'm sorry, if you're getting $10,000 a night and the patient's there for 2 months, get them a chair if that's what they need. Because
you can't put your legs up.
I can't now. I could before they got this bad and my lungs got this bad. When I put my legs up,
what happens?
Pushes everything up, pushes on my diaphragm, pushes into my lungs. It makes it hard to breathe. I was also, it's very sad. I was a nicer person before, when I was first diagnosed this 3rd time. I went to my doctor and I was like, this is what we're going to do. And we're going to save my life. And you're going to help me. And I'm going to be the next Margaret Geisler. I'm going to survive this. And he gave me medicine. And the medicine, we're not sure if it screwed up my lungs or not. We don't know. But I was ready. And I've been fighting and fighting and fighting. But when the pharmacy says you're only supposed to take 1 chemo pill and the doctor prescribed 2, and you explain that to the nurse, And the nurse goes to the pharmacy in the hospital, thank you, and explains that to them. And the pharmacist is yelling at the nurse, yelling at her. And I said to her, I said, can you read the notes that the doctor wrote? She says, yes. I say, okay, please read them, right? Because they're going to be your ammunition to show that the pharmacist is wrong. She reads the notes. Pharmacist is still disagreeing. So I miss my medication timeline, which is chemo. You're not supposed to do that. And, I forget, I think I got it reversed. It was supposed to be one, he gave me two, because it was a titration. We were titrating up from 1 to 2 to 3. And finally, when he calls her 2 hours later, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, because it was my nighttime dose, and tells her, oh, I realized it is supposed to be, write the correct number. But he never apologized to that nurse for yelling at her. I needed omeprazole. They sent me pantoprazole. Oh, here, it's the same thing. Not the same thing. And if you've ever taken these drugs, you would know they're not the same thing. And I've been taking omeprazole for over a decade. Another one, anastrozole, is a cancer med. It eliminates estrogen from your body. My doctor told me to stop taking it. My oncologist told me that. So the nurses keep bringing it. And they were bringing the wrong dose. And I said, I'm not going to take that. The doctor told me not to. Oh, but it's still here in the computer. I don't care what's in your computer. The doctor told me not to take it. If your computer takes too long to update these things, I'm not going to take it just because the computer says so. And, oh, but I think you should take it because it eliminates estrogen from your body. You're not my doctor. If the doctor took me off the medicine, he had a reason, which I did ask him the next time I saw him. He explained it to me, and his reasoning was more sound than hers because he's the freaking oncologist, right? So, it's not just all the mistakes they made, and there were hundreds of them. Because in the beginning, when I first got there, I was keeping track because it was so upsetting. And after I got to 50, I stopped writing them all down. But it was making my life miserable. And they would make me fight about everything. And I am already at war with cancer. I need to battle cancer. And if I had another person come here, I have so many people come here and they move things, all my stuff around, and I ask them, I'm like, I need the towels to be there so I can reach them. I need paper towels because I'm doing wound care on myself, and because I don't have home health, because nobody's helping me find a home health company that accepts Medicaid. And every time somebody says, try this company, this company, this company, or I Google, when I call, they say, we don't take Medicaid. My body is not doing well, but I haven't lost my marbles yet. My brain is still intact. And I used to be, look, Texans are strong people, and I'm originally from New York, right? And I used to had a great career, and I was a different person. It's very disheartening to go from being independent, self-sufficient, and all those things, and able to advocate for myself, to becoming so weak that I have to have a potty 3 feet away from my chair. I can't go out of my house unless somebody takes me in a wheelchair. The medical company that was supposed to get me an electric wheelchair that the insurance was going to pay for, it's been 5 months. I'm waiting for that chair. So you can go ahead and tell me you think I'm a hypochondriac, but I'm telling you from firsthand experience, there are a lot of problems in the medical community. And I'm not trash talking the doctors because there are many of them, like my oncologist. He's great. He's very smart. He knows a lot, and he genuinely cares about me. He really does. I know he does. When I was in the hospital, he came to visit me almost every day. Not all doctors do that, you know? And I may sound like a persnickety bitch, but this doctor's known me for, I think, 6 years, and he still cares about me. There are people in my life that do care, but that doesn't mean they can, buy me a fancy wheelchair. They just work, normal jobs, and they have rent to pay and lives also. So they do their best. I have one friend, she comes once a week. If she can, she can't always make it. And she tries to cook for me, do a little cleanup, and, but.
Angel, I talk a lot about the cost of living in today's world. What is the cost of surviving in these conditions?
Oh, God. It's a lot. Because
Guys, I met Angel through a church group.
I wasn't at the food pantry. The food pantry, right?
Yeah, it is.
Give me just a minute, okay? I want to have a little more of this before it's gone and relax for a minute. My voice. Here's another one. I tell the doctors I need help with my lungs because I'm having trouble breathing. Can they at least help me with that while we're trying to fight the cancer? Can you help me with my legs? Because the lymphedema is extremely painful. And I have neuropathy. And I have real problems that need help. And I don't get help with that. I spoke to my palliative care doctor. We were talking about medicine, which I have never requested opioids ever because I don't like them. But we were talking about a liquid medicine, and I don't do well with pills.
Evan said get inaudible.
What? No.
Inaudible?
I have all kinds of things to put my legs up on. Yeah. Lifting them up. Hurts my lungs, hurts my legs because they're on fire, makes it hard to breathe. I thought of that, thank you. But I do have things to put my legs up. Anyway, so I mentioned to this doctor that one of my pills got caught in my throat and I couldn't get it down. And a couple times I had water go down the wrong way. These are problems that normal people have, healthy people. When you have trouble breathing, you pant and you breathe fast. So you can't eat at the same time, talk at the same time, those types of things. But this doctor, who was supposed to provide me with pain management, decided I needed to go to the emergency room because water went down the wrong way. And I'm sorry, but I need help with the real things that actually are endangering my limbs, my life, and all of that. And, managing those things was a matter of realizing that I'm panting for air. I'm fast breathing, right? Don't try to chew and swallow food, or take a pill when you can't breathe. You use your inhaler, you rest, you do what you need to do so that you can, and then, first he wouldn't send me the medicine I needed. And then it made me suffer for a week. And the nurse was being rude and discompassionate, unempathetic. And and then when I finally did get a prescription for the medicine, I asked for a low dose, and I got a dose. It says right on the bottle that it's only for individuals who are opioid tolerant. I never take those things. I'm not tolerant, and I needed to be able to see my dose in the syringe so that I could measure it, and it amounted to less than quarter of a teaspoon. The stuff he gave me, you have to measure it in, you're supposed to, you can't measure it in the syringe because it's like this much. And I said, I can't measure that. And when I push the plunger to get it into my mouth, nothing comes out because it's too low a dose. Because instead of being, a small number of milligrams per ml, it's a ridiculously high number, suitable for somebody who's been on that medication for years. And I said, I need the low dose. And they said, no, the pharmacy won't fill that for you because you just filled the other one. I said, that's not true. The pharmacy will absolutely fill it because it's a different concentration. So, and this is a great doctor. You have to remember, these are not shit doctors. This is a very educated, very, his credentials are out through the roof. I mean, he's been directors of facilities and, or chief of staff. I'd have to look at it to see. But I mean, I checked him before I used him. And we've had a relationship for 6 years, and he knows me that I'm not a drug seeker or any of that because I've always said no. When I've been offered these meds before, I've always said, no, I don't want that. And I managed my pain with Tylenol and Advil. I can't do that anymore. And the excuse that I got from the nurse was, oh, well, he gave you that so that it'd be a smaller amount of liquid. I'm sorry. The dose was like less than a quarter of a teaspoon. And I tried to explain to her, I'm not having trouble swallowing. I have one problem with a pill, and and pills have never been easy for me. I've always had trouble with pills. And, don't send me to the emergency room because some water went down the wrong way once or twice. That's just asking me to go through torture for something they're not going to help me with. They wanted me to get an assessment, barium swallow, things to look at all that. And I have to write to them to explain, these are the symptoms you're having when you need emergency room care. It's affecting your breathing. My breathing wasn't being affected by eating and swallowing. It's affected by cancer in my lungs, pulmonary edema, pleural effusions, things like that.
What would happen if you didn't have oxygen?
I probably would become unconscious and my organs would die. That's how you become brain dead. Your brain doesn't get enough oxygen, like if you drown, right? Your brain doesn't get enough oxygen. They pull you out. If the water's really cold, maybe you make it. Water's not cold, the lack of oxygen causes you to be brain dead. But then I explained, these are the symptoms that you have when you get outpatient assessment. Meaning, if you want me to have these tests, send in the orders, and I can arrange with somebody to get me there, and I'll do it. But in the meantime, don't tell me I don't get any palliative care, because if I'm not going to live, right, you can do is help me with my pain. If I am going to live, I need to not be writhing in agony in order to get in the wheelchair, get to the hospital, do these things. When you have so much pain all over your body, like level 10, I'm crying my eyes out and screaming and talking to God pain, you can't function. You don't function. And I just sit and ask God, why? What did I do? What did I ever do in my life? Because I never killed anyone. I never was breaking the 10 Commandments. I mean,
You ask God why a lot every day?
I don't think God's going to answer me, so I just talk to myself. Why? What did I do? Of course, everybody has things in their life that they regret, but I never like hurt people, you know.
I've heard people in the comments a lot say fasting.
Mm.
Have you ever tried that?
I'm getting ready. I'm changing my diet. I've been mostly uh, not vegetarian, but almost. Like I was doing Mediterranean, and I've been vegan. I love meat, I do, but I love animals too. But anyway, I recently had a couple of people in my life saying that keto carnivore would help me. And for me, that's terrible because I love fruit so much. I want to eat watermelon, oranges, apples, cantaloupe, every fruit. I love fruit so much. And I want to eat that. And I thought it was healthy. But I'm learning that anyway, I'll try anything. And if I do the keto carnivore, there'd be zero sugar. And cancer eats sugar. And I already cut out the, bad unhealthy sugars, cakes, candies. Or if I have any candy, it's you know, uh, like a super dark chocolate with very little sugar. And I don't eat it every day, you know. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. I need a piece of candy. So I'll have a piece of candy that has like 1 gram of sugar, right? I mean, but anyway, but I have to cut out noodles, rice, potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. Oh God, and they're supposed to be so healthy for you, anti-inflammatory. But I'll do whatever I gotta do to see if it'll make me feel better, live longer, um, and if it helps me, I'll go tell people about it. And there are some oncologists that are learning about this, not mine, but there are some.
Because yeah, I would reframe it and be like, instead of why why am I here? Like, what should I do?
I do that a lot. I do. What should I do? What do I need to do? Guide me, show me the way. But maybe that's why my friends came to say, one of them, both of them said that's what they did. They went to a keto, mostly keto, carnivore type diet, and it fixed whatever their problem was. It wasn't cancer, but it helped them.
What do you look forward to right now?
Getting well. Getting well, being comfortable, pain free, being able to breathe properly, no more coughing, being able to cook for myself. I was with somebody in their car and I said, or in their SUV, I said, I have always hated doing laundry, hate doing laundry. And right now, I would give anything to be able to do my own laundry. What a joy it would be to be able to make it to my laundry room, put my laundry in the machine, move it over to the dryer, bring it back to my bedroom, and hang everything up all by myself. What a triumph that would be.
How old are you?
60.
Someone in the comments earlier said that you looked very young.
Thank you. But if you look on my GoFundMe, there are pictures of me, and there's a couple of them. My hair's up to here. One of them, it's kind of a reddish color. Most people think those are old pictures. That picture of me with the red hair was taken in September. And there's a crap picture of me where I look really bad. And that's what I look like when I left the hospital after 2 months. Because they didn't help me and they gave me ridiculous amounts of stress. Crazy amounts of stress.
Would you say this is YouTube begging? Are you in dire need of resource?
I am. And But I've never in my whole life never done anything like this before because I had a successful career. Um, and but in the beginning, I lived in New York. So I didn't get to save a lot because when you live in New York, life's very expensive. But, and then when I moved to Texas, I was diagnosed with cancer the first time. And I had to accept a job that paid less than half what I was normally used to getting paid. But I never had to ask anybody for help, money, none of that, because I did well enough that I didn't have to do that. So I was a giver instead of a asker. And I would give to homeless people, veterans, animal charities, uh, St. Jude's. You know, I gave, and I had friends that I had these friends that got evicted. They came to my house one night in the middle of the night and said, "Can we stay with you? We got evicted." I let people stay with me.
Audrey said, "I hope you have good luck."
Thank you.
Boomer Sooner said, "Hope this helps."
I don't know what this refers to, but thank you, whatever it is.
Guys, I pinned her GoFundMe in the description. If you guys want to look at that, that tells her whole story, her background, shows her pictures before this cancer. This is your third time.
It's not before the cancer.
The third time.
No. That picture was taken of me in September. So I think that's 6 months ago. And you look at that and you'll see I didn't look sick. I looked not bad for a 60-year-old woman. I could still pass for 40 something. There were no wrinkles on my face. I looked decent. After I left, while I was in the hospital, I started to hunch over. My forehead developed 100 wrinkles. My voice I can't get back because I don't ever get just 2-3 days where I could just sit and not talk. Never. Because everybody wants something from me.
Can we retry the link? Cell Pack, if you're still in there, or moderator, can we retry the GoFundMe link? And then we'll just go from there. Find the one we had from earlier. Or I put it on the last live we did with her. Austin said, "I declare Jesus Christ over her life."
Do you need the link again?
I'm pretty sure I already have it. That's the thing.
And you posted it?
Yeah, it's in the chat right now.
Does it work?
That's what I'm trying to find out right now. Guys, does the GoFundMe link work in the description? Yeah, Badger, that's right. She has stage 4 metabolic.
Metastatic.
It's not tappable. Yeah, I said the link works.
Thank you. I try to be grateful when I have days. Like right now, let me check. I'm trying to keep on top of the little bit of pain meds that I'm taking, which are non-narcotic.
Do you have diabetes?
No. Hang on, let me see. Okay, it's time for me to make a decision about what pain med to do. Because I want to catch it before the pain becomes intense again. It gets much worse at night. But
they can't believe you're not on any narcotic right now.
Because I have a very hard time with narcotics. Usually, the lowest possible dose, something simple like codeine, it will. I can take a fraction of a Tylenol 3 and it'll make me feel like crap and it will knock me out, right? But it won't help with the pain. You want to help with the pain, dude? You're Mr. Droppy Pants today.
My bad.
If you
Pants. It's just
Put in my stuff on this little thing here.
if you want help with the pain, you have to take a big enough dose. And I told my pain management guy, I'm like, I need a medicine. What good is it if you take pain meds?
Butterfingers.
My
bad, guy. My bad, cat.
If you're so high that you can't function, or you're unconscious. Okay, there's no pain, but I'm sleeping for 6 hours, and I can't get up because the drugs are knocking me like a brick. So I tried to function without, and I was doing okay for some time until the pain kept getting worse. And then when I asked for liquid morphine, mainly because it comes in a liquid and you can just, swallow it. And I only need a low dose. I only need 1 milligram, 2 milligrams. If I get to needing more, we can titrate up, and do it that way. But
Tav said, give wine to the poor, give strong wine to the perishing.
I don't drink alcohol. And I can't with the meds I'm on. And now I'm going to get real personal. My butt hurts because I'm sitting in this chair all the time, which creates bed sores and pressure sores. And it's very painful. And
What's up, Aperture Science? How you doing, brother? Good to see you here. You texted me the other day and said you don't want me to look at you like you were weak. What's that about?
What? No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't. I texted you and I said, please see me. Because you said you could see me. And that if you saw me a certain way, I could be that way. And I asked you to please see me as healthy and comfortable and happy. Because if you see me as healthy and I start to get stronger and healthier, and that's going to make me happy. If you see me as happy, that means I'm surviving and I'm getting better and the pain is gone. And I believe that also talking about all the things that I'm going through is hard for me because it says, in the beginning was the Word, right? And so God spoke the universe into existence. Let there be light, and there was light. And I believe that people have the same power. People who talk about how their life is crap and they're never going to succeed at anything. That's a dog, probably. They're never going to succeed at anything. They have a crappy life because they speak that into existence. And also, when you have a negative viewpoint, you don't try as hard. You just think you're going to fail. Somebody's here. Hang on.
Someone is at the side door.
Hang on. I don't know who that is. Hang on, let me check. It's some person, but I don't know her.
How can I help you? Stacia left her phone yesterday. Stacia left her phone? Okay, give me 1 second.
You said Stacia left her phone.
Well, look, Stacia puts her stuff. Listen, this lady, I love her. She's great. She helps me. But she'll take off her eyelashes, stick them in places. Right? I have no idea where she put it. You can check the kitchen and see if there's a cell phone there. But show it to me first so I can check.
Here's a phone.
Let me see it. Let me see. That might be her phone. This might be her phone. It's probably the battery's dead. Ask the lady if this is it.
Okay.
It's probably her phone. Thanks. You know, it's so funny. I was thinking why she didn't call me or text me to say, I'm sending someone to get my phone. So, as much as my brain is still intact, I have brain farts sometimes too. Think about that for a minute. Why didn't she call or text me to tell me she's sending somebody to find her phone? She left here.
Kind of unprofessional.
What?
Pretty unprofessional.
What is?
Just that leaving your phone at a client's house.
She's my friend, but I don't want to talk about her. I don't want to say anything negative because she's a very lovely lady, and when she does come, when she's able to come, which is not a lot because she works a lot, she cooks for me, and she helps me when she's here, and anything that she does which is silly like that, it hurts her, doesn't hurt me, you know. I try to. I I used to be organized, fast, efficient, you know, and I would give advice to people that maybe was not welcome, but when I used to get paid when I was working and my money would come, mortgage or rent, whichever you have, first. Nothing's more important than that. A lot of people go to the grocery store first. But those groceries are not worth anything if you're homeless. Because if you have a roof over your head, eating peanut butter and jelly might suck, and ramen, stuff like that, cheap food, if that's all you have. But there are ways to eat cheaply and survive and not be homeless. And some of those things involve being organized about how you pay your bills. Rent or mortgage first. Electric, water, have to have water and electric. You need your phone. So I prioritize those things. And also, when I did go to the grocery store, dog food first. Because if something happens and I don't have enough money for food for me, I'll figure it out. Spaghetti's cheap, There are foods that are cheap that you can eat.
Can I have a water?
Absolutely. You listen, do you want cold or room temperature?
Cold.
Okay, cold is going to be in one of the fridges. Just replenish it with another warm one. Oh.
Angel, I'm curious. What is the main reason why you share your story online? brutally honest with us.
Brutally honest? I'm always honest. I started to do this with Caleb because Caleb helps a lot of people get the things they need. And I'm desperate. I'm desperate and I need help. Normally, I'm a very private person and I wouldn't want to talk about all this negative things I'm going through because I feel like one thing it's good to not be honest about is to be positive all the time, right? So instead of telling people the pain you're in, the suffering, the bad things, if somebody says, how you doing? You just say, I'm doing great. I'm still here, right? And be grateful. And maybe that'll draw more reason into your life to be grateful and to be happy that you're alive. But I can't ask somebody to help me financially if they don't understand why I need help. Now, also, if anything I have to share helps someone, um, like I keep changing my diet to see what's going to help and not help. And if I do this, excuse me, I am doing it. After I've been doing this for a period of time, if I start noticing benefits, damn straight I'll be screaming from the rooftops about that. And I'll be talking to my doctor and saying, I would flat out go to him and say, I demand, because I am that person, that you stop ignoring diet and these other things that I'm doing. Because if I were to go and and I do this for 30 days, and then I get a CT scan that shows the cancer shrank, and the pain goes down, and I can breathe better, right? If I get real results just from changing my diet, then it's not right for them to be like, oh, there haven't been any clinical trials. There are people out there in the world that think dogs don't have emotion. Obviously, those people have never had a freaking dog, right? I don't need a clinical trial, a study and they do them, but I don't need a study to show me that dogs have emotion and genuinely love us. I had a person in my life said, your dog only loves you because you feed it. Not true. There are so many people out there, disgusting people, who abuse their dogs, hurt them, neglect them, don't feed them, and the dogs remain loyal and loving to that owner, not to the next person who comes along and feeds it, but to that horrible person that's mistreating it. So if you can't look at that with logic in your brain and, and determine that you didn't need 50 scientists to verify what you saw, that's just not smart. It's just not.
I find it interesting how you tell the doctor that you've had cancer longer than they've been in a doctor.
Not so much the doctors, the nurses.
The nurses.
Because my doctors have been around doing what they do, as long as I've been doing it or longer. Especially the first one. Because, he'd already been an oncologist for 10 years when I met him. And God put him in my life. Because there's a miraculous story about how I met him. But there are nurses, and but some of them, I met a nurse who'd only been doing it for a year and a half, and then other nurses who've been doing it for 10 years, right? And that young nurse, 23, been a nurse for a year and a half, 10,000 times better than some of the experienced nurses that I had. So there are not But some things, the rules don't apply. And there are so many exceptions. You know, some young people just want to party. Some young people they're motivated, they want to have a career. Some want to get married, have a family. Some are very smart. Some are not so smart. There's no rule that applies to that genre of people. All young people, those things should not really exist, except to say all young people are young, right? They don't all have brown hair, they don't all have blue eyes, they don't all think the same way, and they don't all make the same mistakes. And some can be very wise. Same thing with old people. Some have Alzheimer's, some lose their minds, some stay sharp till the very end. The body may go, but the brain may stay sharp. So,
that's why you don't want to do narcotics.
well, they make me feel bad. People like to feel drunk, right? And I don't judge. That's fine. You want to go out on Friday night, Saturday night, and that's what makes you happy. I don't have a problem with that as long as you don't, go drive a car after, right? That I have a problem with. If you're drunk, take an Uber. Don't drive. Because now you're taking somebody else's life into your hands. And you don't have that right. But, but I don't enjoy being drunk. I don't like it. So I don't want to. And narcotics are different. They were giving me morphine in the hospital for this thing they call air hunger, which is what it's supposed to make you feel a little bit less like you can't breathe, right? And so they would give me just 1 milligram of morphine, and all of a sudden I was like, like how people on heroin look. And, huh? I don't know about fentanyl, but that one I never tried.
They call it 30-fold.
So, I know heroin addicts look like that. And and it would make me feel so bad. And I'd be like, oh my God, and why did I take that? Because I was hoping it would make me feel better. And there's this one medicine called Toradol, and it helps a lot with pain, and it doesn't make you high. But you can't take it for long periods of time because it's bad for your kidneys. So I have to minimize how much of that I take. But it helps.
Colorado Federal Patrol, what's up, brother? God said Jesus loves you, God bless you. Do you have a religion you fall under? Largo, she has lymphedema on her leg.
I don't really define it because I was raised in the Jewish faith, so technically I'm Jewish, but I'm not practicing. A couple of years ago, I spent Passover with my mom, and she also is not religious, but when you're raised as a Jew, things are a little different. People think it's just a religion, but Jewish people feel that it's their ethnicity, it's their race, it's their history, their heritage, and that's how we're raised a little different, I think, from Christians and other people. But I went on a search when I was very young because I had a spiritual experience when I was 2. And so I started studying consciousness and all the religions in the world. And it's interesting if you really study them, a lot of them very similar. And it's insane how much the people hate each other. You know, Muslims, they're not all fundamentalists. You know, they're the crazy ones that believe they have to kill everybody in the world for Allah, right? That's not the majority. It's just not. I'm from New York City, so I've known many Muslims. And they were family people. They took good care of their children, gave to their communities. There was, nothing murderous, evil, wicked about them. But they get lumped in with the fundamentalists who genuinely do believe that it's okay to kill in the name of Allah. But there are Christians like that. There are beautiful, wonderful Christian people who believe that the little voice in their head, what would Jesus do? How would Jesus want me to act right now? And they're kind, giving, compassionate, empathetic, wonderful people. But there are some that believe it's their job to tell you if you don't accept Jesus, you're going to hell, fire and brimstone. And that's not what God or Jesus intended. It says, I forget where it is in Scripture, but there is a place in Scripture that says that if you, turn somebody's face away from me, from God or Jesus, because you're trying so hard to recruit them, to turn them, that's a sin. You're not supposed to do that. So the Christians that I've known who, were great people, Christians, they helped me to be more open-minded and learn and stuff like that, because they showed me by being amazing human beings. They did what they thought Jesus would want them to do. And they acted the way they thought Jesus would want them to act. And Jesus said, love thy neighbor. Jesus didn't say, love thy neighbor unless he's black. Love thy neighbor unless he's an immigrant, a Mexican. Unless he's gay. He didn't even say that, right? Unless he's, none of that is there. It just says, love thy neighbor. So, I'm a spiritual person. I know that this universe couldn't exist without, intelligence to create it. It's just, there's no way that the scientists that believe that it just exploded from the Big Bang and the Earth just came into being, and all the people with their consciousness and the animals and the flowers and mathematics. Look how organized mathematics is. And it's a naturally occurring thing in existence. Gravity, all the things we have, right? These things didn't just happen. Artwork, a painting, a piece of music, sculpture, requires an artist to create it. And so the universe required an intelligence to create it. Some religions call it God, some call it Jesus, some call it Allah, the Jewish people call it Adonai, I just know that my heart beats all day long. I'm not doing that. I don't say heartbeat. I'm not doing that. I've had miracles in my life. So I don't ascribe to a particular name of a religion. I think that God lives in you as you. And if you're kind to your fellow man, if I punch a person in the face and God lives in them too, then I'm punching God in the face. And that's why you're supposed to do unto others and love thy neighbor. And serving God means to serve one another.
When was the last time you were able to use your own bathroom?
Wasn't that long ago.
What made you have to get the potty in the living room?
Well, I went from being able to make it to the bathroom to... Can I break for a minute? Let me break for a minute. I just want to... I need water. Can I have a cold water? And let's...
Pull that one for sure.
Oh, yeah. I'm hungry. I just don't know what to eat. Thanks. Ow, oh, my legs. Thanks. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Mm, mm, ah, 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 ah. I don't think I can do this. Let's see. See, the reacher's not wide enough to grab something like that. And if I pull it on the floor, it may open and everything come out of it.
So you want me to grab it?
Yeah.
Can I try with the return?
Yes. Top strawberries.
This one?
No, the strawberries. Yeah. The one I can get.
I see. See, maybe if we like grab it like this, turn it out a little bit.
Now, you're strong. Okay, good.
Woo! Chat, check me out. Chat, check me out. I got it. That is freaking. It is pretty strong.
So I was able to go to the bathroom, but I started having to stop halfway there in the bedroom and rest, and then stop on the way back in the bedroom and rest. I couldn't make it all the way. And
Boomer Sooner said your legs would feel better elevated.
they don't. They
Why?
did. They did because they did before it got this bad. But as I was explaining earlier, when I lift my, and I don't want to show it again, when I lift my legs, they burn and they cause me to have trouble breathing.
Do you still have taste? So your chemo doesn't affect that?
Mm. It does, but you don't get chemo every week, so you get breaks in between.
Brissa said, dang, how can you go to the bathroom?
Porta potty. Bedside potty. Strawberries.
Antioxidants.
Not supposed to eat fruit on this diet, but berries are allowed.
So you're going against your diet right now?
No, I said berries are allowed.
That's a berry?
Yeah, strawberry.
I thought that was a fruit.
Berries are fruit.
Oh,
Silly.
do you think you're in going towards positive progression or negative progression right now? Today.
I'm not doing as well today because I need a thoracentesis to get the fluid off my lungs, and my appointments are not until Wednesday and Friday. So once they take the fluid off my lungs, I'll feel better, breathe better until the next time the lining fills with fluid again.
Someone said try going carnivore.
Exactly what I'm doing.
Really?
Mm.
That's the change you're making now?
Yeah, but it's gonna be like keto carnivore. So there are some things you can eat which are not meat: eggs, cheese, berries, nuts. Some vegetables like no potatoes, but you can have broccoli, cauliflower. So, but I'm working on the carnivore thing is hard because I don't have anybody here. First of all, I can't afford decent meat, right? Like decent cuts of meat that taste good and are okay to eat. A hamburger is not carnivore, right?
Because the carbohydrates.
There's no carbohydrates in
The
hamburger.
bread.
No, you don't. Dude, you don't eat bread.
The hamburger.
Hamburger is not bread. Hamburger is the burger inside the bun.
You don't think so?
No. That's so silly. People are so silly. I had somebody in here. I asked them for my, where the hell did I just put that? I had a hat.
He said, why donations? I just put a donation goal for $500 in your GoFundMe.
The goal was 12,000.
I know.
The whole goal.
I did a live stream goal.
Oh, okay. I went over all of that not too long ago. Is there a way to? Mostly it's for caregivers, but I'm on disability. The money that I get, it's barely enough to cover my mortgage and the electric bill and the water bill. That's it. So there's no money. There's nothing for caregivers, which I really need. And food I've been getting from the food pantry. But I need money for extra things you don't get from the food pantry in order to do a proper diet that will hopefully promote healing. But the money I get from disability doesn't pay all my bills. I mean,
Glass for Heart said, if I can, I'll try to donate.
Thank you. I wouldn't ask for money, if I...
You're just looking for a small $1 million loan.
I don't want a loan because I can't work. I have no way to pay it back.
Right.
I want to survive, and homelessness sucks for anyone.
Where do we donate? Gath, donate in her GoFundMe. You'll find that in the description of her last live and then in the pinned comment in the live chat. It says Angel's GoFundMe, and that has the link. And that's for anybody who wants to donate in her GoFundMe.
If I were to lose my house and become homeless, I'd be dead in 48 hours. Because when you're homeless, you don't have access to oxygen, which relies on electricity. And, yeah.
Thermos said, "Why is your house dirty?"
What?
Thermos said, "Why is your house dirty?"
Hello, caregivers. How am I supposed to clean it? I can barely make it 3 feet to my toilet. So when the caregivers come, they clean up all the stuff that's on the floor. They cook for me. They help clean stuff that got messy because I drop things. Towels need replacing every couple of hours. Do my laundry. But I mean, what am I supposed to do? I can't get up and mop my floor. I can barely stand for more than 60, 120 seconds.
Before what?
Before my blood starts to deoxygenate and the oxygen goes down, heart rate goes up, and I can't stand anymore, and I need to sit and catch my breath and let my heart rate go down.
It's Ohia said, it's Ohio said, "How do you get to the bathroom?" This is how she gets to the bathroom.
Without a caregiver, I have to.
Chat,
Huh?
My name's Caleb. Nice to meet you.
Without a caregiver, I have to sit next to that porta potty, and there's no one here to empty it for me. So my space smells like a cesspool, and I can't clean it.
How often do caregivers take care of you?
I don't have any now because I can't afford them.
So how often do your two best friends have time? How many hours a week do your friends?
My one, she takes time off. She doesn't take time off. She spends her days off with me when specifically I have a medical appointment because those are really important. So she'll come this week, Wednesday, to take me to the hospital to get my thoracentesis. And she'll stay for some time after to help me with whatever I need because she's an angel.
Orbit said, "Why can't Caleb empty your toilets?"
Look, if you do that sort of thing for a living, or if you love someone, you can do it.
And anonymous girl said, "Caleb, why can't you help?" They're gonna shame me into cleaning your shitter.
Well, look, Caleb helps me with other things like, could you? I'm having to give up most fruit, which sucks for me because I love fruit. But I had a pineapple. Caleb cut that up for me. I needed something else to eat. He helped me do that.
Warm it up.
I'm like, dude, can I have some water? He gives me cold water. He does, but he's here to do this for me because if I had enough money, I can either, I can hire caregivers. If I was rich, like I had money, I would just tell my friend, she would give up her house in Austin, not her house, but her apartment. She would move in here, and she wouldn't have to work. She would just come here, take care of me, and whenever my time comes, I'm leaving my house to her.
whenever your time comes.
Yeah. And, you know, but see, she doesn't care about that. She's doing it to help me because she's just a really amazing human being. You know, but
Cherry Jones, if you want to click on the GoFundMe link, if that one isn't working for you, then click on the last live stream we did in the description. I put another one there that works. Brooke said, "Are you guys in Texas by chance?"
you know, I've done. I think this is the fourth one we've done together. If you go back, if they can access the first two that I did,
They can.
and
I'll build an album. I'll build a playlist tonight.
if they compare that first one to this, they'll see how much I've declined in that time. Because the first one, I think I was speaking better. I was able to go with you into the kitchen when you were cutting up that pineapple. I was able to speak better. I think I said that already.
Hawaii said, "Make the link clickable." Can anybody go back into that link, type in Angel's GoFundMe, and have a better clickable link? Any of my moderators? Can we do that? Try to put another link out there if that one's not working for people. Afro Girl said, "Do you have children?"
Just dogs.
Latasha said, "Call the police, welfare check needed."
Somebody tried to call me.
Frog said, "I saw the first one and now this one, and you look a lot worse."
Yeah, because I'm worse. Somebody tried to call me. I was in the bathroom and I couldn't pick up the phone because I was in the bathroom and my hands were full. And a healthy person, they would leave a message and wait. This person immediately called the police to get a welfare check. I mean, didn't even give me 5 minutes. And look, sick people, healthy people, we all have moments where we can't answer the phone. Anyway, a sheriff came and he was very nice. And I mean, really, he was nice. But when he so much, he needed ID. You want to make sure that was I the only person here? I can't remember. I think I was I was alone. And so he wanted to see my ID. So the easiest thing for me to get to was a picture of my passport. Because, you know, everything's packed away, you know, driver's license, all that stuff. And for me to get to it is a big thing, right? So I just said, I asked him if he'd settle for a picture. He said yes. And then I went to go my pictures, and I said, I asked him if my passport would suffice. And when he looked at my passport, this picture was taken in July of 2025. So let's see, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, 9 months ago. 9 months. And he looked at that picture and he said, "When was this taken?" I said, in July. And he was dumbfounded because I still looked healthy. I had hair. I looked 40 something instead of 70 something. I'm 60. But he even looked at the picture and was like, it looks like it was taken 20 years ago. It was taken 9 months ago. And, but he was very nice. And, you all can see, I was telling them before, in my GoFundMe, there are pictures of me that were taken in September. There are no old pictures. The oldest picture there was taken in September. And that's what I looked like in September. So maybe not beautiful, but a lot better than now.
Piranha, her condition is stage 4 metastatic cancer. Right now it's in her lungs.
It's everywhere. It's a lot of places. But the breathing issues are the worst. And the bone issues cause a lot of pain. And
Kiki said, are you terminal?
all stage 4 cancers are terminal. But that doesn't mean people don't survive anyway.
Terminal means you just at the airport. It took her a second to be okay with that joke. Miss Transparent said, God bless you and stay strong.
Thank you.
This is not a looped clip. This is happening in real time. This is a live stream. We are in the now, guys. We are in real time. We are here with Angel. She's living through stage 4 cancer. And if you guys have a chance, please look at the GoFundMe and see her story. She's been battling cancer for about over 15 years. And if you have some extra cash or some funds or resource, this would definitely be somewhere you could donate your money to. So if you get a chance, look at that. My mic should work.
It has a little fluffy thing on it.
Ruby said you need dandelion root.
Why? How does it help?
They said, Caleb, please talk to her about Christ being king. Do people ask you if you're okay a lot? What do you tell people when they ask you if you're okay?
More people, they don't say, are you okay? They say, how are you?
I feel like I asked you that when I first walked in.
I thought that it was just me, but I've since discovered that cancer patients in general, especially stage 4 cancer patients, we don't like that question. Because in order to answer you requires us to come face to face with those realities even more than we already have to be every day. So when you say, how are you, to a cancer patient, you are forcing them to remember that they're not well. They haven't been well for a long time. They probably won't be well tomorrow. So you're depressing them and making them feel like shit. The right way to speak to a cancer patient is to say, if you care, and you're able to do this. And I didn't make this up. I learned it from a friend when I was asking her about my personality. I was saying, I think I've changed, and I used to be nice, and I'm not nice anymore. And because I'm angry all the time. And I told her that somebody in my life kept asking me every day how I was doing, was there any improvement and all of that. And it made me very mad. And I kept saying, stop doing that. If I have an improvement, I'm going to scream it from the rooftops. Stop asking me, because you force me to tell you again and again and again that I feel like shit. And I don't want to do that, you know? And she said she knew because she had both parents had cancer. And she said that that's true of all cancer patients that she knew about. And she said the right way to speak to a cancer patient was to say, what can I do to help you today? What do you need? What will make you more comfortable? Is there anything I can get for you or do for you? Because then you're giving the person an opportunity to say if you can make their life better, not just asking them, how are you?
What their current state is that you already know.
What?
What their current state is that you already know.
Yeah, I mean, you know. When you go to doctor's offices, they always ask you what your pain level is. And before things got this bad, nurses would come, doctors, blah, blah, what's your pain level? And I would try to explain to them, I'm like, look, I have pain all the time everywhere, but that's not the worst thing I'm experiencing. The worst problem is breathing. My lungs. I can't deep breathe. Everybody's like, take a deep breath. Can't do that, and there are worse things than pain. Pain sucks, but when you can't breathe, that's worse. Um, can't eat, can't breathe, can't sleep, can't rest, can't lay down. I have to rest. Can't burp. I want to put this somewhere. Can you take this from me? Thank you.
How would you explain to someone your higher power?
I would just say God lives in you as you. God lives in all of us. When God breathed life into Adam, he didn't just breathe oxygen, he breathed spirit into Adam. And we all have God in us. And that's what it means to be God's children. You have your parents' DNA, right? You have the Spirit of God in you. This keto carnivore thing gonna be very hard.
What would you say to someone that says God did this to you?
Why? Why?
If this video is not on a loop, and I just proved it by calling out your comment. If you had a wheelchair, where would you like someone to take you?
I have a manual foldable wheelchair, and what I need is an electric wheelchair. But the company that's supposed to be getting it for me, 5 months I'm waiting. But I can't go anywhere. Where am I gonna go? I can't go to a restaurant. Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do when I get there? Can't do anything. I want a bigger chair so I'm not crushed. And my hips aren't crushed. And my lungs aren't crushed. I need a electric lift chair like this one. It's wider and better for me because I'm in this chair 24/7.
Amy said, we must know Jesus as our personal Savior to go be with Him in heaven soon. Please ask Jesus to show Himself to you.
Did that. I did that, and that's the main reason why I'm not a Christian, because I spoke to Jesus, and I did what my nice Christian friends did, because they all have personal relationships with Jesus. And I said, Jesus, come into my heart. I want to have a relationship with you. And I talked to Jesus many times. And
Ernie, we set up a GoFundMe account. It's in the description of her last video on live. If you guys want to see her GoFundMe, it shows her story, it shows everything, her pictures from before and after 6 months ago. She had, there's a tremendous difference. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but they're just shooting guns next door. Dang, that's something. That's something over there. They got something over there. How long has it been since you've been to a doctor?
I go to the doctor every week.
No, Rose, this is not my grandma.
See, now in September, nobody would have thought I was your grandma. They wouldn't even have thought I was your mom.
I love that.
It's true.
She said it's true. Well,
I'm sorry that I'm being so boring today. I just, when we started this, Caleb and me, I was so hopeful, and I didn't feel as bad as I feel, and I've seen so many GoFundMes out there for things like, help me go on this trip. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not, you want to go on a trip and, document stuff, take pictures, whatever. People want to help you do that, fine. I have given many my monies to charities when I had money to give. And, the charities I chose may not be the same charities other people choose. And why should someone help me when they can help St. Jude, right? But I was admittedly disappointed because this is our 4th video. And somebody actually said to me, when I didn't understand why people didn't want to help me, and he said that on Caleb's channel, Caleb helps a lot of homeless people. And so those watchers saw me sitting in a home and he said, You're too comfortable. Because I'm not homeless. And I was like, one, I'm not comfortable at all. I have no independence. I can't do anything for myself. And I need caregivers. But I said to him, I said, you know, if I don't get help, I can't pay my bills, my mortgage, because I can't work. And I've been working my whole life. Got my first job when I was 12. And been working full time since I was 18, right? So many years, 42 years full time. Did I get that right? Yeah, yeah, 42 years full time work. And you know, and I said to him, I said, same thing I said earlier. If I were to lose my house, you know, homelessness sucks for anyone, but if I end up homeless, I'll be dead in 48 hours because I can't have oxygen on the street. I can't bring a recliner to a tent, you know, and be able to sit in it. You know, nobody's going to help me survive homelessness. And no one should be homeless. No one should. But I am trying to be able to stay in my house and so I can have my oxygen and food, and I'm still trying to survive, you know.
User said, please, Caleb, let me know if she got my Cash App donation for her. Okay, bet. Amy Garrison said, I'm praying for peace and comfort. I'm a former hospice nurse, now a hospice patient. It is a great organization. People generally live longer on hospice. I pray for a personal relationship with Jesus.
I'd like to talk about that. Listen, you can tell these people, thank you. Tell these people thank you.
Guys, anybody donating anywhere, thank you guys. And for tuning in as well, liking this live stream, sharing her message, showing people what it looks like to battle cancer for an entire lifetime.
I don't know. I think it's not the right thing to say people's names, but since we did this live stream, we received 6 donations.
Wow. Guys, if you're having trouble finding the GoFundMe, it's going to be in my live. It's going to be in my live description. Sorry, my description in my live from the last video and this video. You're getting a lot more love than hate, I would say, Angel.
I hope so. I've just, you know, I've known people who are on disability, and I never met
I will, Cherry. Thank you, Cherry. That's a good idea.
What?
She just gave me an idea.
I never met a scammy disability person. Or, I mean, there were some that I met and I found out they were on disability and I didn't know them well enough to know, but
W user, I saw that Cash App donation. I got looked at it. Thank you, sir.
I don't have my Cash App posted, you know, or Venmo, PayPal, all that stuff. So anything that's coming to me is going through my GoFundMe.
Yeah, but we'll set your Cash App and Venmo up. That way you'll have it moving forward.
And uh, uh, uh,
The prognosis is something that she says doesn't exist.
well, it's stage 4. It's considered terminal.
That's the prognosis, though. But the prognosis, I thought, is like a time frame.
I just told my doctor I don't want to know that because I don't want to live up to it. I don't want to. I don't want him to say you have this long and then that's what I get.
If anyone said, "I'm so sorry, our system has failed you."
Thank you.
She has stage 4 metastatic cancer all over her body, but predominantly in her lungs right now.
I need a minute to figure something out. I actually want to go to the potty, but I can't do that on the live stream.
You can go to the bathroom. I just mute it.
No, dear. It'd be visual.
No. I'm saying I can turn the camera this way
Yeah.
and leave.
All right. Well, we may have to do that. But right now I need to figure out medicine. Let me check something.
And I mean, Caleb, is that correct? GoFundMe link in SL tab? Yeah, it should be the correct GoFundMe link. If not, it's in my last live stream. Or Angel, I mean, we could just end it live if you want. I just know that you're getting more people viewing the GoFundMe right now.
I just think that, you know, when we do, this is the first time that we've done a live stream and people were being so kind and generous.
Stephen said, "Happy Palm Sunday. Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey, the only animal with a cross on its back. Coincidence? I think not. I will say a prayer for you."
Thank you. But when the live stream's not there, the people don't see me live, right? No, the only, I saw one donation come in, and it wasn't from the live stream. It was from somebody I know who found out.
Lessica said she needs more than $500.
I need a lot of money. The goal on the GoFundMe was initially $100,000 so that I could actually pay my bills, pay caregivers, you know, get all the things I needed. When you do a GoFundMe and it shows a goal like that, they shrink your goal so you have short goals to reach. And they put the goal for me at $12,000. I think Caleb made it 500 for today in the hopes that we would get some donations. I need to take, this is just Advil, because I took a Toradol earlier so that I could try and make it through this live stream.
Yeah, do whatever you want. I'm just here. You just let me know what you need. And we can stop whenever.
I'm just,
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
I don't know what's the right thing to do. When you don't get the help you really need.
They said you need stronger pain meds.
Damn straight.
Well, there you go. They said you need help with wound care.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Tomorrow is Monday, right?
Tomorrow is Monday, yes, that is correct. Yep, Monday. No, I am not her son. This is a woman I met through a church group, through a local food pantry. The same food pantry that gives her food every week. My goal here is to document and journal and witness someone going through stage 4 metastatic cancer and to help her get more resources to help her to continue the fight. That is the goal of this live stream. Mipa said why she is alone.
My mother is 85. My stepfather is also an older gentleman. They can't come take care of me. They're busy taking care of each other. And I don't have children. And, the people that I have in my life, they can't just quit their jobs and come help me. And caregivers are very expensive. They range from $30 to $45 an hour. You can get them for less if you pay for them privately. But, if you're paying somebody $15 an hour, I haven't tried that, but it's not the same level, I'm sure, of care for someone who, has been vetted, background checked, and has experience and all that. But the truth is that my friend, when she comes to take care of me, she's much better than the caregivers I've had because she cares about me and she's patient and kind. But, and we talked about this. I asked her if she wanted to come move in, she'd have to give up her apartment, and she has a lot of dogs, so she'd have to bring them all here. They're small dogs, but they're, barky dogs. I love dogs, but it's a lot of dogs. And my two. And the problem is that she still wouldn't be here if she was working. She'd still have to leave in the morning, go to work, work a full day, come home, and so I'd still be alone. And then, when
That's an automatic gun.
I told you,
They're shooting automatic guns over
dude, they have machine guns, and people don't believe me. No, it's so crazy. I find it insane because there are so many liars in the world, and I don't do that. I really don't. But people never believe me. I tell people my neighbors have machine guns, and
It's not a joke.
but if I had,
Austin, Texas.
if I had, if I was, wealthy or won the lottery or whatever, I would tell my friend, leave your job, move in with me, no rent, free rent, but I'll pay you to be my caregiver. And I might have to hire someone. Either I'd have to hire someone to come in on the couple days she needed off to get a freaking break, or she might maybe be able to set me up in a way that I was okay for her to, not have to take care of me 24/7. But I've never met anybody more patient in my entire life and kind. And anytime I have a problem and I'm like, I can't do this because of that, she's like, we'll come up with a solution. And she tries to figure something out. And
If she was an animal, what would she be?
I'd have to ask her that. I don't know. She loves dogs.
So instead of her shape shifting.
She's funny. She makes me laugh.
MV said, have you contacted a social worker?
The social workers, I had a really good one. Very kind, compassionate, wonderful lady. But she helped me a lot. She helped me to get on a special Medicaid for breast and cervical cancer, which is much better than regular Medicaid. And she was applying these applications for me to get financial assistance, mortgage, utilities, things like that. And but they make you do a lot of work to do that. You have to, the application is not easy, so she did a lot of it for me. But you have to provide them everything. Obviously they want to see your utility bills and they want to see your mortgage bill. They want to see everything. So I guess, which is understandable, if somebody's going to give you money, and they weren't going to, give me ongoing money. So they wanted a lot of effort from me to pay one utility bill. And then, so my utility bills are not that high because I'm alone, right? So, my water bill it's most of the time it's less than $60, because I'm alone, right? If I pay it on time each month, it's less than $60. My electric bill, maybe in the dead of summer it could go up, or winter, to $300 occasionally, but usually it's, $200 or less, because I don't keep my house at 62 degrees, right? But they wanted a bill that was between 300 and 500. I'm like, well, how about, they not just help me with the water and the electric, right? No, they won't do that. You need one bill that's between 300 and 500. I said, okay, how about with the mortgage? No, it has to be a utility bill. How is that helpful? And then the mortgage assistance, at the time I applied, I had zero income. Zero. And I got a word back saying I was denied. And at first there was no reason given. Then I found out I was denied because they ran out of funds. That at least is a reason. They ran out of funds, But she said, you can apply again next month. So, but I need assistance to do those things. And I asked her, I said, can you use the documentation I already gave you to do a new application? No, because they need new, fresh utility bills. They can't use the one from last month. So I have to, all the work that you do for these, and it's work for these applications that make you do it over and over and over again, and they're not giving you anything, and I think I talked about this earlier. See, I can't do that. Put my legs up just like that and within a few seconds, my lungs start to hurt, my legs hurt. I got to put it down again. Oh God.
Did you ever get physical therapy?
Yeah, and I need more physical therapy, but can't find a home health organization that will accept Medicaid. So I need help with that, right? I need somebody to help me find a company like that. And the doctors, they expect me to do all the work. And it's like Monday I have a doctor's appointment. Tuesday I have an appointment. Wednesday I'm going to the hospital for a thoracentesis. Thursday I have to check. I don't remember if I have an appointment or it's the one day I don't. Friday I'm going back to the hospital for another thoracentesis. And so in the finding the home health to help me, that's only one thing on a list of 50 things that I have to do. And when exactly do you expect me to do everything when I'm busy getting treatment? And it's very hard to focus when you're in a lot of pain. Oh, somebody said something about fasting. I can't take medicine on an empty stomach. So I could try to not eat between meds, but I have to eat to take certain meds that are very hard on the stomach. This hurts. That hurts.
What hurts?
My leg. Lidocaine doesn't
What does
hurt.
it feel like? What kind of pain is it?
It feels
Sharp,
like it's on
stabbing?
fire,
Fire.
like a burn, like a bad burn.
Why don't you have wraps? Is a question in the comments.
You can't wrap that. You can't wrap that.
Someone said it's a fungus.
No, it's not. It's if you put a body in the river, the skin will turn like that. This is soaking wet because there's lymph leaking out of the skin, soaking the skin, making it look wet like that, right? And
It just burns.
yeah. Oh, it also itches.
Shit, it itches.
Yeah, and the itching, you can't scratch it, and the itching, pain is bad. Itching drives you fucking insane. Excuse me. Mm, 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 mm.
This is not the result of diabetes. This is the result of stage 4 metastatic cancer.
Oh, oh. And right now, I want a noodle soup in the worst way. Broth, noodles, fill me up, make me feel better. But I'm learning, my understanding is that the noodles are not good and that it's better to give up the carbohydrates.
Sodium inflates you.
Huh?
Sodium inflates you, makes you swell up.
Well, I don't know. I know that the carbohydrates are contraindicated.
Traveling lands, welcome to the front lines, brother.
Ah, ah,
Glad to
ah,
be here.
ah, 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 ah. Ah, ah.
Someone said stop diagnosing yourself.
What the hell are they talking about? When did I do that? Seriously, ask that person. What makes them think I did that? They think I just decided I had cancer? Hello, I had a PET scan.
Hello, I had a PET scan.
I had an oncologist tell me what's wrong with me. I didn't diagnose myself. I'm sorry, but that kind of thing is, that's not helpful. It's not helpful. Somebody on the feed earlier said I was a hypochondriac. I'm trying not to die. I'm not a hypochondriac. And I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. But if I took off my oxygen and just sit here for a minute, put on my pulse oximeter and show the people, because not all your people are like that. So many of them are compassionate, empathetic, kind, helpful, decent people. And even if they can't help with money, they're just being there listening. But somebody like that, they're just like the people in Social Security and lawyers' offices. They call this a claim. My disability is a claim because I could be lying, right?
The real Mr. Bean said, I encourage everyone to donate. My grandmother had breast cancer and she beat it, sending love and prayers.
Oh my God, thank you. So for the record, I did beat it twice. This is the third time, and I'm having a much harder time now. That's something else you can tell the person in the feed who said I was diagnosing myself. I've been battling cancer for 15 years. I didn't make it up. And that's very frustrating to hear that from someone. But I will say that before I was this sick, it would have been much easier to be calm and collected and cool about it and to get this angry, right? I'm angry because that person just doesn't know, right? But I get stuff like that from, doctors, nurses, whatever. You know, if you get a splinter in your finger, you can see the little piece of wood sticking out, and it hurts. You don't need a doctor to diagnose that. There's a splinter, right?
Someone said I could be making calls and doing the paperwork for you, but my question is, what would you need that for? Don't you do those?
Again, people don't get it, but that's an honest question. I'm not blaming that person, but I had somebody
Put
get
in all the word.
I
Put in all of it.
I had somebody get mad at me because I didn't call them,
She's been waiting months for a wheelchair.
and I got mad at them, and I went and I checked on my phone. Let me write this down real quick. Hang on. I always write down when I take meds.
Kay said, tell that woman she's beautiful.
I was. Thank you. I used to be beautiful when I was young. I have pictures to prove it. So I went and I checked my phone, and in one day, I had.
Terry, don't say that. They're saying I agree. Caleb is not reading messages that would help her. Sorry, I don't look at the chat the entire time. I'm looking at her too when I speak to her. But
I had 30.
Madison said, "Can you walk? I need to know."
I can stand up. I use a walker or a rollator to walk, but I can't go more than a few feet before my oxygen tanks and my heart rate goes up and breathing is affected. So I only use the walker now so that I don't stand without something to lean on, and the rollator is if I have to, in an emergency, cross my room so that if I can't make it, I can sit. So my legs work, I can still walk, but my lungs don't work well enough to allow me to walk continually.
Someone said, I'm going to report your neglect.
What? Who's neglect? What are they talking about?
They feel that your circumstance, that you've been neglected.
Well, thank you. Look, I agree with that, but you know what? I had an attorney call me because I filled out a form online to ask me about the cancer to see if I had a suit, right? But I didn't fit into their thing. But medical malpractice is very difficult to prove. And I had an emergency room discharge me. They discharged me and they gave me a referral to a cardiologist. When I spoke with the person who was scheduling my cardiology visit, she read the notes from the doctor who discharged me in the emergency room, and this is what it said. It said that I was non-compliant and that I left the hospital against medical advice, right? They didn't want me to leave. I was beyond so angry. And I said, you change that, because I didn't want to leave. I was like, I'm still having trouble. Help me. They discharged me because they didn't know how to help me. And they just gave me a referral to a cardiologist. And, but I didn't.
If you have trouble with that link, look at my last live I did with Angel, and then you'll see the link in the description.
And the non-compliance was the doctor wanted to give me, check this out, 10 milligrams of morphine. He said, it'll help with the pain. At the time, because this is months ago, I wasn't really in pain. I was having trouble breathing. And I said to him, I said, I hate morphine. How is morphine going to help me? And he said, about the pain. I said, pain is not my problem. I need to know what's going on in my lungs, why I feel this tightness, and I have trouble exhaling. If I breathe in, the hitching mostly comes when I go to breathe out. I can't get the air out of my lungs. It makes me cough. I can breathe. I can't deep breathe, but I can take a breath in. Then it stops at a certain point. Right? I can't keep breathing in like a nice yawn or a healthy person. But I can breathe in, and then when I breathe out,
Anytime your diaphragm is in that play, it sounds like anytime you use your diaphragm, you have problems.
I've had people, medical people, I'm saying, help me, I can't breathe. And they're yelling at me. You know, I had an ambulance tech. I needed to get off the gurney because when I put my legs up, it crushed my lungs, pushed my diaphragm into my lungs, and I couldn't breathe because I needed thoracentesis. She put the bar up, and I said, take that down. I need to move my legs. And she said, I can't. And I went into hysterics. I did. I lost it, and I was crying and screaming and probably acting like a maniac, a lunatic, whatever. But I mean, I'm telling her, I need to move my legs. I can't breathe. And I said, take that down. She had me all tied up with the buckles, right? And she's telling me she can't, and policy, protocol. And I'm sorry, but they tie you up like that in an ambulance because of liability. They don't want you to fall out of the bed if there's a bump or something, and then you get injured and you sue the ambulance company. Now, if I died because I couldn't breathe, that would also be a live fucking liability.
Angel, do you go back and read these comments to the live stream?
I haven't been able to. I would like to.
They want you to do that.
Okay. I'll have Caleb show me how to do that.
They said this guy won't read comments giving solutions. I'm not going to interrupt her while she's talking. She has already explained what she has terminal cancer. Trying to use your link doesn't work. Guys, if you can't use my link, it doesn't work. Some people, they can't use it, and some people, they can. That's frustrating.
So I have a Facebook.
What is your Facebook?
I can give you the link, and there's a link to my GoFundMe on my Facebook that
you need to advocate for yourself.
I've been trying.
They said shorten the oxygen line.
What do you mean? I can't go anywhere. If I need to go to the potty, and I remember that the potty only came here within the past 2 weeks.
They said blood clots in her legs, definitely blockage.
They're not blood clots.
Elegant said it's working. The link is working.
It's not blood clots. There is a vascular issue in my veins. He's right. The problem is that
Nikki said, please post your medical degree along with your unsolicited advice. That's one of the best comments I've read today.
But he's not that far off. So in my legs, some of the veins, what happens is, and this is not related to the cancer, the veins get weak. And so the lymph and the blood and everything goes down, but the veins aren't strong enough to pump it back up to your heart, right? So things accumulate down there. So I saw a vascular specialist. They wanted to do ablation, which means they destroy those veins. They go in and they kill those veins. And that forces the blood and everything to go to other veins to hopefully resolve this problem. But when I was considering getting that done, right, and it's a big deal to think about. It's very scary to do that, right? Killing veins, big ones.
They said your legs have a lot of blockages. It doesn't have a lot of good circulation.
It's more than just that. I'm not there. I'm sure that. True? I think it's that the veins don't work properly. It's not specifically blockages. Lymphedema comes from, in my case, it is related. Look, I had an axillary node dissection. So they took lymph nodes out here, right? That created some lymphedema in this arm. If you'll see, left arm is bigger than right arm.
Okay, I see that.
But with the legs, I don't know all the details, but I went to a vein guy and they, vascular specialist. They used an ultrasound to check my veins.
From said, why are you not using compression?
Can't over this.
You can't over that?
No, can't put it over that.
Should you ideally be doing that?
Once we get these wounds healed, the plan is to go to Luna Boots or something. But the company hasn't sent them, even though they've been ordered, because the agent that manages my area is not responding to the company. And they don't care. I said, get me another agent. They're like, I'm telling you, there are some great things in the medical community. There really are. But there's also some crap. I mean, seriously, there's crap. Dealing with an oxygen company, when I told them after I got the concentrator and I have one of those portable things, right? I said, I need backup tanks in my house. They're like, no, when you get a POC, a portable unit, you don't get tanks. And I said, that's ridiculous, because if my electricity goes out, both the units won't work. The portable unit only works for about an hour before it has to be charged. If I have no electricity, I won't be able to charge the portable and the big unit won't work. I need tanks as a backup in case the power goes out. The guy said, no, if your power goes out, just call us, we'll come. I said, dude, I speak like that sometimes, dude. Your office is over an hour away from me. This unit will only last 1 hour. And what if the reason my power's out is because there's a flood, a storm, a riot, anything? I don't know why there's going to be the power outage, but, you may not be able to get here. And if I don't have oxygen, I'm dead. So now why? Look, if you have a problem at Walmart, some store you bought something at, it's aggravating, right? It's annoying. I paid this for that. It doesn't work. I want a refund. Please help me. It's annoying, but this is an oxygen company. I actually had to say that to them. I'm like, look, you're not providing a convenience product. It's not even food. We can live a couple weeks without food. We can live a few days without water, right? Oxygen? Within a couple minutes, your organs start to die. Your brain starts to die, and if you're not dead in 5 minutes, your brain dead, and then you will die. So why do I have to argue with my oxygen company why I need tanks in my house in case the power goes out? I called the power company and I said to them, I need you to know, because my friend told me to do this. Hi, sweetheart. Hello. Meow, meow. Hi, meow, meow. I said, look, I'm on oxygen, and my friend told me I should call you and let you know that. So if there's an outage, you'll prioritize my house. And you know what the hell they told me? The doctor has to write them a note telling them that I'm on medically prescribed oxygen. Because people are so dishonest in this world that some of you think I'm full of crap. And people think that when you apply for disability, you need a claim. And and not all of us are full of crap. And if I was full of crap, I sure as hell wouldn't lie about terminal illness, because I wouldn't want to invite that into my life. And I wouldn't ask for financial help. Yeah, I would just work. I had a beautiful job. I did. And it was actually fairly easy job. The last job I had, I was able to work from home with a computer and, work in the morning till the evening and then have a life. If I could still work, I would work.
Lymphedema.
I need to check the time on my inhaler. Um, uh, uh, uh. Um, almost there, but and so sometimes I don't want to do it when I'm doing this, right? Because if I do it and I keep stressing my lungs, I lose the benefit. If I do the inhaler and then I rest, I get more benefit and it lasts longer. And I do.
Self-Pap said, do you take water pills?
You mean diuretics?
Water pills?
I don't know what. I only know diuretics. So diuretics cause your body to eliminate liquid by peeing a lot. And I have one, which I was doing until they don't agree with me. They make me feel very bad. But I had one I was doing, but it got to a point where I couldn't get to the bathroom. And the pain got really bad. So I even didn't get my last chemo treatment because my doctor said, let's focus on pain management first and get you to a stronger, better place. And then we'll reschedule your chemo. And then my pain management doctor didn't help me. I needed help from him, and he didn't help me for ridiculous reasons, which we're going to discuss tomorrow because I'm meeting with him tomorrow. And but it's hard because, it's hard to have those conversations and to
So we're going to go ahead and just end the live, guys, right here. Angel, thank you for talking to us today.
Do you think it's a good idea to post my Facebook, or is it better to just, you tell me?
Every network possibility is good, I would say.
I can send you a link to my Facebook.
Yeah, send me a link to your Facebook. That has all the links.
It has a different name on it because my name on Facebook is just Love Wisdom.
Angel, when would you like us to follow up with you again?
Well, next week, or this week, Wednesday and Friday, I'm supposed to have thoracentesis. They should help me to breathe a little better and feel a little better. Because they're going to take the fluid off my lungs. So that should help me. The hard part is waiting to get to Wednesday. And then getting to the appointments is a hellacious experience. I don't even know.
Anything else you want to say?
I was going to send you this link, but I guess, can we do it after? Is it still useful?
What is?
The Facebook. I just wanted to find the link.
Guys, all the links I'm going to put in the description after we end this live. Thank you for tuning in with us, Angel.
Can I just say, I want to say thank you to everybody who was able to give. And for those of you who can't, I get it. I do. Because life is hard even when you're not sick. And you can have families, children, a mortgage, other responsibilities that you have to tend to first, and that's important. So I thank you for being here, listening to me. If you have social media and you're able to share my link, I told, you know, I was telling Caleb that if people were able to donate $5, $10, if, you know, when it's just 5 people, it's not, it's between $25 and $50. But if people would share my story and my link, you know, if that gets out to 10,000 people, 100,000 people, a lot of people, and each person has a few hundred friends on their Facebook or whatever, you know, even if only a percentage of those people can help with a small amount, it adds up, right? Um, but, you know, whatever. And if you can't do that, if you have helpful advice for me, I'll read those comments. And thank you to those people who are not judging me, because I don't judge you. And if you have an alcohol problem or a drug problem, or you're homeless, or you have psychological problems or health problems, I don't judge, because I haven't walked in your shoes. I don't know what your family was like when you were growing up. I don't know what crazy experiences you've had. And I don't judge. I don't know where other people have been. And so I'm just telling you where I am now. And where I'd like to be is to survive and not be in pain. I want to get healthy enough to do my own laundry and cook my own food. And
Well, you know, I think it's really an honor to talk to you because you're so articulatable and you're able to speak on this. You have a lot of education. You got a lot of experience with this fight. Uh, it sounds like the medical system has pretty much stabbed you in the back for the most part. It's just a really interesting. It's a modern day, in real time, how America treats people in your current circumstance.
yeah, and there's not, yeah, there's missing. I couldn't find a neurologist. And I was upset. I'm like, what the hell? And one of the neurologist offices told me there's a shortage of neurologists. They were trying to hire an additional doctor, couldn't find one. I know that my oncologist sees way more patients than a doctor should have to see in a month, in a day. And so your visit's only 15 minutes and you need more time than that. And I've had all kinds of problems, but this is, he said he's going to close it up. So I wanted to end on thank you to all of you for everything, listening, just being there, you know, and
I think this might have been one of my biggest streams ever that has been done in real time.
really? How many people are there?
I'm not sure. I can't see the total number, but a lot of people tuned in and showed a lot of love to you. I would recommend going back and watching.
I wanna read the comments. I do. I want to read the comments. I get nervous about seeing the stream.
Just donated. I'm wishing you the best.
Thank you. Thank you. If you go back and you look at the other live streams, you'll see me being less angry and persnickety and because I didn't feel this bad and I was more hopeful. And I'm not so much angry at the world. I'm really angry because I'm 60. I'm not ready to go. And I don't think I should have to. I think I should be able to fight and keep living. I have the will to survive. And but I need help. And without help, everything is very stressful. I can't eat properly. I can't.
For Honda, yes, she's stage 4. Joseph said you don't look 60. Beautiful soul.
Thank you.
We need more compassion and less hate.
Agreed.
That's Sue. She's on the front lines with us. Angel, thank you for sharing your story with us, and I look forward to our next interview. Guys, I'm going to put all of her information in the description. GoFundMe, Facebook. Um, we're going to put everything in there for you guys to go check that out, so you guys can go ahead and connect with her. You can text her and show your support personally on her Facebook. If that's something you want to do, build a relationship and maybe help her out in whatever way possible. God bless you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. InRealTime is the best community, growing right now very rapidly. So if you guys watch this, please subscribe to the channel. We are going to be following up with her and many other people that go through different things life throws at us. God bless InRealTime.